investors at the Nigerian Treasury Bills market take advantage of the elevated levels following Wednesday's results with the bearish sentiment on the long end of the curve. Traders at Access Bank say that they expect the bearish sentiments to tone down today. Meanwhile, the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso, has set a new target to increase foreign remittances to $1 billion monthly. Daniel Afolabi, a Treasury Team Member at Access Bank, joins me now for a market update. Thank you so much for your time on the show today, Daniel. Let's get a sense of how the market has played so far this week.
Yeah, thank you for having me. So, I mean, it's an interesting week. We started the week with about 370 billion credits in the liquidity market, but yesterday we are down to about 825 billion negative. That's the market is in repo. The indication is also, the implication of that is also that we went from 19% on the OPR and overnight rate to about 32% currently where we are. Also, you know that this week we had a couple of actions from the central bank and from the DMO. The central bank sold about 1.4 trillion OMO, which was actually oversubscribed. We saw that the stop rates closing at about 24% levels. On the 2 days ago as well, we also saw the DMO sold NTB to us, to the market. They sold about 627 billion. If you look at the trend of the NTB over the past 3 auctions, you would see that initially, sometimes 3 weeks ago, the first one was about 80 billion. The stop rate was about 19.8. Then the next one that was sold, they sold about 300 billion. Stop rate was about 20.65. And then the last one, which was the one that happened 2 days ago, the stop rate was 23%, and they sold about 627 billion. In the FX market, we saw rates close yesterday about 1678 for the NAFEX, and on NAFEM we saw rates close about 1639. The central bank also actually came into the market yesterday to sell to authorized dealers in the market. In the bond market, yield remains inclined. The short end is a bit higher at 20.5 levels, and then the long end is currently about 17%.
All right, let me take it back to the Treasury Bills market, and I'd like to get a sense from you how you see secondary market activity playing out next week.
Yeah, so the market is a bit bearish as yesterday. So you know, if you look at the stop rates, it closed higher than the last auction, up to about 300, close to about 300 basis points increase. So we saw quite a bit of interest in the markets, but most of them are on the sell side.
All right, I'd like to take you to the issue of liquidity now. Looking at what we're seeing, yes, the market's in the repo right now, but what's the outlook for in the medium term?
Yeah, so I mean, yesterday we closed about 825 billion repo, but as at the liquidity figures that came out today, that is currently down to about 500 billion thereabouts. So I think time and time again we'll continue to see the central bank's action. Once there's liquidity in the system, it might come in to mop up that liquidity by selling OMO to the market.
Yeah, because I was going to get into that, because I wanted you to speak on what you anticipate in terms of for next week for OMO activity.
Yeah, so I mean, in terms of anticipation, you know, would typically get a call or the mail once the central bank is in the market. But I think what would typically inform that is the liquidity in the market at a particular point in time, and obviously what the central bank's thought process is as what they want that to be.
All right, well, finally, and very quickly, I'd like you to just speak to on the scorecard on the CBN management team and also their plans for a 1 billion monthly remittances in the market here.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting feat to achieve. If the market can get to that kind of level in terms of remittance flow, it would definitely help the FX market. It will give a considerable amount of flows on the sell side, which would definitely reduce the pressure on the FX market. Hopefully we'll see that happen soon.
All right, thank you so much for your time. Daniel Afolabi there, a Treasury Team Member at Access Bank.